Good evening, campers, it's me, Kieran. Today we are going to discuss the 1992 novel by Cormac McCarthy, All the Pretty Horses, of which comprises the first book in McCarthy's board trilogy, of which I will be reviewing each and every one of them. It must be said that All the Pretty Horses was the book that got McCarthy into the mainstream. It's the book that most people attribute to his name. Although Blood Meridian might be his most lauded, or in fact The Road, readership of McCarthy's work increased indefinitely because of the publication of All the Pretty Horses. And I think it's worth discussing why that might be. Having read a number of McCarthy's works, and I will leave my reviews of those down below for you to check out, one of the struggles that indeed I have is that Cormac McCarthy isn't really interested in plot. He's interested in narrative, not so much plot, alongside his arguably infamous idiosyncrasies of his prose being minimal and his punctuation being almost absent. Jumping into McCarthy's work can feel like a chore as you try to factor out what exactly he is doing. All the Pretty Horses differs from this because although it obtains everything that McCarthy does, it has a plot line. All the Pretty Horses is pretty much episodic, and you can see our protagonist move through each section, and Cormac McCarthy almost sets each one up for you. It's very clear to see the through line. All the Pretty Horses has a clarity that his other works do not. And one of the reasons for that is that I don't think it's pared down. I don't think this is a simple book. There's many times within his minimal prose where I was kind of scratching my head thinking, I think I know what's going on, and it pretty much is our protagonist rounding up horses. McCarthy's prose is a bit of a sensitive topic for me, but the more that I've read of him, the more that I get the grasp of what he's doing. So it's not pared down in terms that it's a simple narrative, it's pared down in the terms that it's a clear narrative. The first book in this trilogy outlines the death of the Wild West, that it is not to continue, and the legacy, the want for that life is no more. It's not viable for most people. And from the off, John Grady Cole's grandfather has died, and questions are rising up about what is happening to the ranch. John is somewhat of a horse whisperer. He wants to be a cowboy, and this really is a coming-of-age novel. His hopes, dreams, and aspirations of the great American West are to die alongside his grandfather. The ranch is to be sold. America is moving on. It is becoming more modern. The ways of the cowboy are starting to wane. However, there's a new Wild West, and it's just south of the border. John decides to leave and head for Mexico. He wants the life that his family has had. He wants to be a cowboy. He ropes in his friend Lacey Rawlins and head for the border. And from here, a series of events, a series of episodes ensues. We first meet the ever so head-scratching Blevins, a young boy who has a horse that clearly he does not own, alongside a gun that clearly is not his. Blevins is used to intrigue and to captivate the readers, for is this character to come up, and was his story as truthful as he was making? But as mentioned, this is a coming-of-age story, and therefore John has to fall in love. And this is where we have the Mexican girl, Alejandra, come into play. Although this plot point doesn't eat into the narrative, it is substantial, especially the conversation between Alejandra's great aunt and John. The conversation reminiscing about love and loss emphasises something in John, and that is he has romanticised what it is about the cowboy life. He's moving from the lower case of romanticisation to the upper case of romanticisation. And once he identifies that, McCarthy's hyper-violence kicks in to play, and we move to the boys being captured and subsequently imprisoned. All the Pretty Horses just gallops. You don't spend too much time at the riverbank. John's realisation for what the Wild West stands for is only evident once he crosses the border, now that he is in a different country with a different culture, speaking a different language. He's almost alienated to the idea of the Wild West and sees it for the violent and tragic life that of a cowboy is. I would give All the Pretty Horses a 7 out of 10. This is the realisation that the Wild West has died. As representations of the Wild West, be that metaphorical or literal, die in front of John's eyes, he has to come to the realisation that he must continue, he must outgrow the Wild West. Where that takes us, we don't know. That's ultimately the end of All the Pretty Horses, and we'll need to read the next book to find out.